Hello, hello, and welcome to our September forecast. I'm Terry Angel, and I have with me the amazing Michele Landers. Hello, Michele.
Hello, good morning, Terry. How are you? You look so pretty in pink.
Oh, thank you. I feel pretty.
Yes, yes, yes. You should sing that song all day today, every day, every day. But pink is definitely your color.
Oh, thank you, Michele.
Yeah,
We so appreciate you every month when you come on and give us this beautiful numerologic forecast for what we can look forward to in the month of
mm,
September. And I know you and I were discussing a few things earlier, so you've asked if I wanted to stay on with you, so I think I will join you. I'm going to take a minute to share this out. So if you want to
sure.
maybe explain to anybody who may not be familiar with what we do, that what's happening here.
Sure, I'll be glad to. And again, thank you, Terry, for co-hosting this with me. I really, really, really love it. Yeah, so what we do here every month, or what I do every month, is talk about the energies, the astrological, the numerological, the even the tarot cards. Everything has energy. Everything vibrates to something, some energy. Everything, all numbers have a vibration. And there are lots of skeptics that say, how could this be? And all I can tell you is this, and I won't go into the whole story, but many, many, many years ago, I got confirmation that these things, excuse me, like psychic phenomena and astrology and numerology and tarot and readings, when it's delivered by someone who is, I guess, more of a clear channel. We're not talking about people who are charlatans. But at any rate, the astronaut, Dr. Edgar Mitchell, sixth man to walk on the moon, he gave me the validation that I needed. And he told me, because I asked if all of this, the reason that it works when it does work, right, and it is predicting, or it is illustrating what's going on in somebody's life, is that have anything to do with the quantum field? And he said, absolutely. So coming from a medical background many, many years ago, that was all of the validation I needed. So what we do every month here, what I do every month here, is talk about, again, the numbers, what you can expect. There are no absolutes. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I am a board certified coach, though, so if anybody wants some coaching, or having their numerology charts on, or interested in hypnotherapy, I'm here for you. As is Terry, by the way. She also does her own coaching. And I'm going to talk about, or Terry and I will talk about it maybe towards the end of the wonderful workshop that we're going to be doing. Oh my goodness, Terry, it's this week. This Thursday it starts.
Starts Thursday. I know, I'm so excited.
We're both so excited because it really is. I know you hear this. How many times do you hear this? It's a life-changing event. Okay, for us, it has been life-changing. For a lot of people who have done it, it is life-changing. It's life-changing if you do the work. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. In the meantime, let me make sure I have everything here, my tarot cards. Okay, so September, here we are, 9th month of the year. If you know anything about numerology, you know that 9 indicates endings, but endings of what? What's going to be rolling out and what's going to be rolling in? Because 9 is an all-encompassing, so there's a lot going on, I would say, in the world, not just the United States, although every astrologer will tell you, and every numerologist will probably tell you, that there's a heavy emphasis on the States for obvious reasons. So let's look at the numbers. So the numbers for the month are the 9, which is obvious, and then the 1 and the 7 and the 8. How do I get that? Well, the universal year number this year, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. So if we want to get the energy of the year in combination with September, we have to add 9 to 8. And when we add 9 to 8, we get 17, and 1 and 7 is 8. So let's start with the 8th card of the tarot, and you should be able to see this. Seeing that pretty clear, right? Yeah,
Yes.
what is she doing? You see the infinity sign, which is also the shape of an 8 above her head. So she has this spiritual energy. And what this card tells us is we absolutely, and I'm sure this has been clear for most of us for a long time, we have to tap into our inner strength, our divine connection. And we have to guard against, well, you see what she's doing? She's taming that ferocious tiger. So he's not so ferocious anymore because she's doing it with kindness and love. So it's telling us not to get carried away with things, not to fall into worry and anxiety, which, let's face it, it's pretty easy to do these days. Not only because of the climate in the world right now, because also we're in Virgo season, and we'll talk a little bit about Virgo in a minute. So when we add the number 9 of September to the universal year of 8, we get the number 17. So in the tarot, the number 17 is, where's that little card? Oh, good. I almost didn't find it. So look at this, right? Isn't that a beautiful card? The star?
One of my favorite cards.
Yes, yes, yes. And I love this card. So it's like, when I was looking at this and I'm thinking, you know what? It's like the angels all the time and the divine just speak to you. And it's like, don't worry, okay? We're going through rocky roads, rough roads. We have Neptune, we have Pisces, we have Mars, we have all this energy, we have the numbers, we have a 9-month. But the star card is saying, take it easy, just trust, have faith that things are going to be okay. It tells us that no matter what happens, there is definitely, and I want you to hold on to this. And if these things, I've said this twice now, so Terry, you're a witness. I'm going to hang up my numerological and astrological and tarot hat if a lot of these things just don't come to pass, because it's so strong and I believe it so much. So it's giving us a new sense of hope, and fresh perspectives is in the air. And what do they say? It's always darkest before the dawn. The other tarot card, did I put them all back? I hope not. What was the other one? Oh, good. The 9th card of the tarot is the Hermit. Another very, 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 you can see that, right? Pretty clearly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Hermit is about which I started this, talking about this. It's about inner reflection, and suggests to us what we need to do is kind of retreat this month. I would say it's kind of challenging to do because there's so much outward energy, so much physical energy going on. But that 8, the 8 is a very physical number. So in fact, when I see someone with heavy 8s in their chart, it usually signifies someone who likes to be physically active. A lot of athletes have 8s prominent in their chart. That is a fact. But okay, back to the Hermit. I think the theme again for the Hermit card is to take everything in stride, not to get carried away, rely on your inner strength. Okay, what else? Well, the 8 is also about money. So we'll either see a lot of volatility this month, but there'll be a focus on money. What else is 8? Leadership. What else is 8? Opportunity, karma, authority, decisiveness. So these things are going to be blasted out there. Changes are in the air. And I know it's been that way for a long time, but something else is happening, because September is an interesting month because it often brings in, well, it doesn't often, I don't know why I said often. I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about something else, but September brings in whatever the year energy in is, like it's an 8-year. And for personally, like I'm in a 5, I've been a 5 personal year. So, and that's a really busy month and a lot of ups and downs and a lot of short travel and everything. So for September, that's probably going to be enhanced for me. And Terry, do you know what year you're in again?
I don't.
Okay, you are 8, 28, 27. Why do I forget that? 9 and so, oh, so 27 and 9, 9 and 8 are 17, 8. You are in. So this reading's for you.
Abundance.
Yes, that's what it's about. It's about money. It's big, okay? And opportunities. So whatever your personal year is, September tends to, in any year, bring more of those things into focus. Now, the month is about money, and the idea is to, because it's such a strong number, please stay focused on your goals. Be in charge, be assertive and decisive. If you can, tune out the noise outside, what's going on, because I will tell you this absolutely. Fear and worry is going to hinder and hurt any of this powerful energy we have this month. You know, that 8 is so strong for us to help us have abundance, manifest, reach our goal. But if we are caught off guard, all right, and we get, I'm sorry, my phone was ringing, and we get distracted by what's going on, it's going to pull us right off our goals. So the 8 influence, though, is good because it can pull teams together harmoniously, working together, effective partnerships. So that's great because we do need to be surrounded by like-minded people. So now I want to get into the, and by the way, for the United States, okay, the United States is in a 1 year. So a lot of new beginnings for the United States in September, and we'll see how that plays out. So right now we are in Virgo season, and I think it's appropriate to talk a little bit about Virgo and what themes will likely be. Yes, we're talking about you.
And Michele, can I just interject? We do have some people on. So did you all see what Michele did there to come up with my year, which was my birth month, the 8, and the day, the 27, and you add those together and then break it down to a single digit. So if you want to do your own year and see what year you're in, and that way you'll be able to understand more about the energies and how it's going to be exemplified during this month. So just wanted to share that with everybody.
Thank you for doing that. And if you do that, if we get a chance, if we don't run out of time, I'll certainly, if anybody knows what their year is or their month is, you know, I will be glad to give you a little snippet. You know, if we'll have time, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So
we're talking about the United States, right? New beginnings?
Yes, new beginnings. Oh gosh, there's so much I want to say about the United States. It is such a heavy, and obviously with Camilla now being, Camilla and Donald Trump both being in the running, it's interesting because I've been saying, honestly, since the beginning of the year that there's this heavy female vibration that is going to really burst forth in 2025. And I had no idea that Kamala, I'm sorry, why did I say Camilla? Oh, Kamala, I'm sorry, Kamala, I had no idea that she was going to be the running mate. Or the, not the running mate, whatever, she posing, whatever they are, candidate. Thank you for that word. Where did that go? I'll have to go into my file. So anyway, Virgo is the 6th house of the zodiac. And what does the 6th house represent? It represents work. It represents service. It represents health. It's how we approach the themes of, like, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and the number, believe it or not, Mercury is a number 5. So Virgos are highly analytical, detail-oriented, usually excellent communicators, and you can speak to that. You're a great communicator, Terry. They're practical, they're reliable. Virgo is very, very service-oriented, and here you are again. You're living proof of that, right? It has also has a strong connection to the physical world, which means, and what that tells me for this month, there's likely going to be a focus on health, health services, any of the service industries. And it's interesting that we have Virgo right now, which has to do with health, because recently I heard about, not to spread anything, I heard about it, disease X. Okay, that's a new thing that's out there. So the WHO is calling it some unknown infectious disease. Now, with that said, Virgo energy has a tendency to over worry about things if you're that type of a Virgo. So along these lines, Virgos can over worry to the point that they want to check out every possible outcome, and then it becomes analysis paralysis. So Virgo, we have this Virgo energy, but all these things will likely we will feel personally and on a global level. So part of the theme for this month is also, don't worry, be happy, right? So we'll start off, we'll go through this pretty quickly. So if we want to have a little discussion. Okay, September 1st, today, Pluto will be in retrograde today as it moves from Aquarius back into Capricorn. Now, this is big, and what I'm going to talk about at the end, I'm not happy about that. But even though it's retrograding back into Capricorn, fear not, because Pluto will exit Capricorn for its last and final hurrah for a long time. I'm talking about 20 years, 40 years, something, maybe 20 years. On November 19th, then it enters Aquarius until, 2043. It's about what needs rebuilding. And that's what's been happening. It's been going back and forth to Aquarius. It's like getting us ready, going back until the rebuilding that has to get done. And this is a major transit. I usually talk about it every month because I want people to know how important it is. I'll save the aspects of that transit for the end, its meaning and its power. I'll talk about it at the end. So September 1st, Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus until January 30th, 2025. What are retrogrades? Retrogrades are, in the simplest form, they're about going back over things. You know, also though, Uranus is about unusual or surprising happenings, things that are surprising. And Taurus is about home, family, security, finances. So again, all of these things from the past can come up. They may surprise us. So that theme will be with us for a while, but I think we are pretty accustomed to surprise. This has changed. So that's not unusual. So you could just say, okay, it's another surprise, I didn't see that coming. But personally, I think it's great to revisit things that you may have wanted to do in the past, or reinventing yourself, or take that energy to use it for some type of transformation. Now, tomorrow we have a new moon in Virgo. And what's the theme? The new moon in Virgo offers us a chance to reset, refresh, and focus on the things we may have ignored. And now we have to face it. It's about facing things. It's about responsibility. And it's about not putting things off. So I think you're getting the gist of what all this is about, which is get going. So we also have Mars in Gemini square Neptune in Pisces square, what else is it? squaring. Okay, Mars and Gemini square Neptune and Pisces. So that's really interesting combination. We know that squares create this kind of friction, but it's a friction to help us grow. It also can bring in challenges that require us, requires a little effort to overcome. So the Mars-Neptune square can create confusion in our thinking. Mars wants to act decisively, it wants to move in there, it wants to charge in there. But Neptune is like, no, wait a minute. I don't want to move that fast. And it kind of obscures any forward kind of momentum. Neptune is dreamy and, this ethereal. So it makes it a little bit difficult to know which direction to take. And that's why one of the things that I think I did mention is why it's so important to go within to get your direction there. So if you're paying attention to all that noise out there, what happens is it can lead to indecision, it can lead to hesitation, it can lead to misdirection, because things are not always clear with this transit, and there can be deception in words, in communication, and it also can be a little bit manipulative. I always associate Neptune with water, so that tells me emotions being triggered, but it also, widen that up, and that can be something to do with water on our planet, whether that, is drinking water, ocean water, things happening on the ocean. And I know something recently just did. I think a big yacht, unfortunately, sank or something happened. It's rain, it's hurricanes, that type of thing. And okay, as an aside, what I wanted to mention, and I heard this on World Astrology, so I don't know, but I'm putting it out there. Around the time of the new moon, apparently it's going to affect areas like Iran, Asia, Russia, India, even Eastern Australia might be affected. I don't know, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. I don't know, we'll see. September 3rd, Venus conjuncts the South Node in Libra. So when Venus conjuncts the South Node, we are encouraged, we are supported to release old patterns in our relationships and values that no longer serve us. It's about letting go of past attachments, finding balance and harmony within us. It's an excellent time to reflect on our past relationships and learn from them without getting stuck in that old emotional rut, which I think can be easy for all of us. And sometimes we don't even see that coming, but it's like, hey, what's wrong here? Do I need to take a new direction? Do I have to reevaluate? It can bring miscommunications or inaccuracy. It also has to do on a mundane level, it has to do with trade workers, maybe food. So that's kind of where there's with Virgo, again, Virgo is service oriented. So it has a lot to do with the earth and food and services and the service and industry, which I keep repeating. So September 4th, we have Mars enters Cancer. Again, you think Mars likes Cancer? I don't think so. Mars is fiery. It likes action again, and Cancer is more slow moving, centers around home and family matters. So this tells me this could bring up some emotional volatility. But the blending of Mars assertive energy with Cancer's emotional sensitivity can lead to, especially if you're a Cancer or any of the water signs, mood swings, emotional outbursts. So, just pay attention to that. And Mars in Cancer can feel overwhelmed by strong emotions, which can lead to, and I caution you not to do that, to have emotional outbursts or acting out in ways that are not constructive. But what's the good side of it? The transit also encourages us to protect and nurture ourselves and our loved ones, and be, again, you love your loved ones, you love your family, you love your friends. So just be very mindful of any emotional reactivity. So what was this other note that I put here? Oh, okay. The moon will also be at 29 degrees of Virgo, and 29 degrees is an anorectic degree in astrology. And so that's critical. So this day that I'm talking about, it could bring something globally. It could be a critical day. It's not as strong as some of the transits that we had last month, which we had I think it was 2 or 3 main, very critical days. It's not as strong as that, but it is strong. So something globally may take place. September 8th, 9th, Mercury enters Virgo, and Sun in Virgo, opposite retrograde Saturn in Pisces. Well, Mercury enter Virgo just sharpens our minds and sharpens our communication, and it can be excellent time for that detailed work that you need to do, for planning, writing, whatever it is that you're creating. So organizing our thoughts and finding solutions. However, we also have Sun in Virgo opposite retrograde Saturn in Pisces. And you know, what does Saturn do? Saturn's a taskmaster, and it brings limitations. Why are you doing that? Stop doing that right now. Listen to me. Pay attention. There's tension between Virgo and Pisces, and we have to watch, again, our relationships. It can feel a little bit heavy, but again, I always defer to, if you are pretty, centered in your emotions and meditate, then you're going to sail through it just fine. The 14th, Venus in Libra trine Jupiter in Gemini. I like this, and I like trines, and I like Venus, and I like Libra, and I like Jupiter and Gemini. I like all the signs, but I like the trines. I like this energy. It can really be a beautiful, harmonious aspect. It promotes love, Venus, connection. Libra likes everything balanced. Venus likes Libra. It's good for traveling. It favors relationships. It has a strong emphasis, now hear me out, on joy, having joy in your life, fairness, balance, mutual respect. It's good for vibing with your tribe. Wonderful time for creativity, for artistic pursuits, ideas. And of course, it's really good for, and Jupiter expands everything. Really a good time to focus on nurturing relationship. I mean, okay, that's always a good idea, but under the transit, it can be more in the forefront of your mind. And Venus trine Jupiter brings positivity, abundance, good fortune, fabulous day to do intentions and manifestations. So this is a very harmonious aspect, and it encourages us to open ourselves up, open our hearts, embrace others, have a party. I don't know, create something, do something wonderful. All right, where are we? September 17th. Full moon. Full moon. Full moon, lunar north node. Oh, here's our eclipse. That's right, our eclipse in Pisces. Now, we know eclipses are powerful catalysts for change. Whenever they occur, it's not always just that day. We think, oh, eclipse, that day, it's gone. No, they kind of flow almost into one another. So this eclipse is inviting us again to release that old emotional baggage. The full moon in Pisces brings a time of emotional release, spiritual awareness. Pisces is a water sign ruled by Neptune, which governs dreams, illusions, and the subconscious. And this full moon may reveal hidden feelings, inspire us, or a deep desire for healing, for closure. It's an excellent time. I want to say it's an excellent time for activities like meditation. But what I want to say, it's always a good time for meditation, you know? So maybe people who aren't meditating, they'll get inspired on the 17th to meditate, because it's always good for that. It's good for journaling, creative expression, releasing emotions, intuition, psychic sensitivity. You can expect your intuition to be heightened. So pay attention to that. You might have really vivid dreams or feel like there's a stronger connection to your inner guidance. It's important to listen to your instincts and pay attention to subtle signs of the universe. So I'm going to stop there for a moment, because there was something that Terry and I talked about, and I said that, you know, I'm guilty of the person who asks for instruction from the universe, and I want a panel to hang down from the universe that says, this is your sign. And that is not the way it usually happens. Maybe sometimes, but it hasn't for me. So I don't always hear words talking. But what I do realize is I'm in the shower, it's quiet, I love it's like I feel like I'm in the rainforest, and I'm waiting to hear something. And I go, darn, I didn't hear anything today. But then I will do something that takes me somewhere that is some type of opportunity or help to someone, whatever it was, I'm led in a direction. So when I ask for guidance, or when anyone asks for guidance sincerely, you'll get it. You just may not get it the way you think you should. Because listen, we can't see air, but we know it exists. We can't see, we can't see it. It exists. We can't see these electrical waves whatever the word I'm looking for our computers, for our TVs, whatever it is. We don't see that. It's not visible, but it's still there. So you want to tap into this. So, okay. September 18th, it can be a little bit of a frustrating day. We have decisions to make. There may be some roadblocks. Things may have to be redone. Yeah, I believe that Mercury is still in retrograde then, forms or refile something. It could bring in a discussion that's a little dicey or something like that. And then we have September 22nd. We have the sun enters Libra. So now it changes signs, and we have the fall equinox. And I love the fall equinox. I really, really do. And I think on EWN, we're going to do some things, aren't we, around the fall equinox?
I'm not sure, Michelle. I'll be traveling at that time, but
oh, right.
I'm sure there'll be something going on then.
Yeah, I think the 19th, I'm doing some kind of meditation on the equinox. So, mark that down. So the autumn equinox, the fall equinox, we're deeply connected. And as the sun enters Libra, and Libra is about the scales and balancing, this marks a significant shift, both astrologically and seasonally. It symbolizes balance, harvest, harmony, right? The sun in Libra and the autumn equinox together create a beautiful time of balance, reflection, transition. So I would suggest that you tune into EWN, get some ideas, do your own ritual. It's a powerful day. Use that energy, whether it's you have the day, whether you have some time in the morning, the afternoon, the night. Try to do that, because Libra's energy encourages harmony, it encourages fairness, it encourages appreciation. And it's a great time, again, for setting intentions and creating balance and reflecting on your achievements and your relationships. It can also bring some type of a surprise. Uranus is always somewhere in that mix. And then on the 22nd, we also have Venus enter Scorpio. Now, Venus enters Scorpio. Scorpio is passionate. It deepens our emotional intensity and desire for transformative connections. Scorpio is deep. The transit encourages us to explore the depths of our relationships because Scorpio isn't superficial, and it's about Venus, and Venus is love and relationships. And so with Scorpio, it's like we want that passionate, meaningful, deep interactions. It also can bring temptations. It's very flirtatious type of energy. It's also seductive. So you can do what you like with that energy as far as your romantic life is concerned, or also your love relationships. And that, of course, nowadays, or it always meant your friends as well, your family of friends. Then we have Mars in Scorpio on the 23rd. That's intense, and that's passion, and that's transformation. And some people can be very determined and even relentless with that kind of energy because the emotions are so strong with Mars and Scorpio. You've got two very heavy hitters there. It can bring personal empowerment in the good side, personal empowerment. On the other hand, it could bring challenges related to power struggles, to obsessions. It's pretty emotionally intense. So the focus is on emotional connections, emotional transformations. So in our lives, as well as globally, it could be heightened passions, heightened emotions, but we can turn that into something really good if we choose to. Remember, everything in this world gives, or gives to us, is an opportunity or it's a challenge. There's nothing, whether it's water, fire, everything that we have that is good, if it's abused in some way, it's going to be a challenge. So that's across the board. On the 26th, Mercury enters Libra. It brings a lot of focus on diplomatic communications. Libra, we're talking, I want it balanced. Libra wants things balanced. It can bring harmony. So the fight you had 2 days before, you can bring harmony to your relationship when Mercury enters Libra. It's a time, seek fairness, try to understand others' perspectives. But again, it also offers this opportunity for us to resolve any conflicts. It's a great time. If you have to negotiate anything, if you're forming a partnership of some sort, this is a good day to do it. On the 29th, Mercury conjuncts the South Node in Libra. It's a conjunction, yeah, and it's powerful now for reflecting on, again, going back over, reflecting, think about, and I think this is always a good thing to do an inventory or a review of things that we have done. It doesn't have to be an all-day thing, but just reflect on, I did that. How did that make me feel? How does this make me feel? So we reflect on our patterns, our communication, our patterns, our relationship. It asks us to review and to release outdated ways of thinking and interacting. And this all ties in with the energy of the 8 and the 9. The 9 is releasing, particularly how we relate to others. It's time from learning from our past experiences, resolving karmic issues, and just striving for more balance and fairness in our relationships. And it emphasizes a more balanced approach or a more balanced energy when we are communicating. Now, I just want to get back, though, to the Capricorn and Pluto, and then the superstar transit, Pluto and Aquarius. Since the beginning of the year, I've been talking about it. So a reminder, if you've heard this before, it's okay. It bears repeating. Pluto is a planet that symbolizes power. When it's in Capricorn, it can represent financial, material, and structural transformation. And Pluto's transit through Capricorn is one of the most significant astrological events for us in recent history, because Pluto is deeply transformational, and Pluto in Capricorn has an effect on society overall and just globally. And just as a reference point, to illustrate how this acts, the action of it, Pluto entered into Capricorn in 2008. And who doesn't remember the real estate market crash in 2008? So Pluto has been in Capricorn for the past 16 years, and that has been influencing global institutions, organizations, and empires. It has to do with government. It is transformation of power structures. One of the most significant effects, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said offense, because something might be coming up about that. But one of the most significant effects of Pluto in Capricorn has been the transformation of this global power and structures, and it's been transforming. This transit has coincided with the breakdown of traditional institutions, which is, we can see that that's happening. And the exposure of how much has been exposed in the past 16 years, it's just like keeps coming up. Corruption, abuse of power in governments, corporations, personal, all of this stuff that has come up having to do with women and women's rights. It's a forced evaluation or reevaluation of how power is manipulated and by whom. It's showing us all this. And Pluto in Capricorn has had a profound impact on global economies. And as another reference point, well, again, we had that market crash in 2008, and we saw shifts in wealth distribution and this growing awareness of economic inequalities. In 2020, what happened, right? We still had Pluto in Capricorn conjunct Saturn. And what happened? That was the outbreak of COVID-19. So that alignment brought an intense focus on the limitations of structures of society. It symbolized the collapse of old systems and the need to rebuild in a more sustainable and responsible way, right? So all of that is Pluto not being the bad guy, but saying this is not working. So Pluto is changing signs, and yes, thankfully, it's been toggling back and forth since the beginning of this year between Aquarius and Capricorn, because it's the end of it. So we kind of went back and forth. Now Pluto is having its last fling in retrograde in Capricorn until, as I said, November 19th. And then Pluto goes direct into Aquarius, and that is really significant. It heralds a new era characterized by profound changes in technology, society, how we perceive power, individuality. And thankfully, this Pluto in Aquarius is not so good for dictators, but it's very good for people. And now remember, this is going to be going on until 2043, but there is no doubt that this year, next year, we're feeling the energy of it. So that is a lot, and I hope I did not overwhelm everybody with all that information, but you can always listen to it again.
That's what I was going to say, Michele. Listen to the replay if you felt a little lost with that, or you needed to slow it down and and absorb.
Yeah.
These replays are up on YouTube. You can go to Enlightened World Network's YouTube channel and find all of Michelle's forecasts for every month. And it's really a blessing that we have Michele to do that for us. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
And I have to say something, Michele.
Yes.
Every night I sit and listen to the angels, and they have had me writing a message. This is the 3rd year that I've been doing that. I did not know before I came on with you about what you were going to say about going inward, reflecting, you know, sitting with that energy of looking at what our experiences are showing us. Well, the message they gave last night was reflection and intentions. So it was so interesting that it just fit right in there, hand in hand with what the numerology forecast is saying, that this is the time to go inward. And, you know, as Michele mentioned earlier, sometimes we have an agenda when we meditate or when we pray, and we're like, I want this and I want that, and I want it now, right? We're waiting for that thunderbolt and that lightning that says, oh, here you go. But it doesn't always happen like that. But when we reflect back over our month that just ended, what happened? How did you show up? What stood out for you? What were some of the life lessons that showed up during that time? And, you know, not everybody journals, but it is such a great thing, a good tool for you to be able to look back and say, oh, on that day that happened. And then I changed something. I changed a course, or, you know, you made a decision. So it's a really good thing to reflect and to set your intention going forward. I do this at the end of every month. On the last day of the month, I set an intention, not just for me, but for the energy of the planet. How do I want that to look? How do I want to show up myself to add to that energy? So I just thought it was so interesting, and I had to share it, that, you know, that it was such a profound message about sitting in the energy and reflecting. And we don't do that enough. We're just in that constant go, 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 without taking a step back and being the observer. And that's what this is all about, isn't it?
It is. We don't realize, and I say this with a lot of confidence and importance, we do not seem to realize all the time, maybe I should qualify it, of the power we have within us. Our spiritual self has a direct line to the divine. And it's always like, okay, waiting for you to tune in. We're here. We're online. Are you? And that's what makes all the difference in the world. It doesn't mean that you're going to live in nirvana on the planet, but I can guarantee you that even with challenges, it will take not only the edge off, but it will show you another way, or it will show you the gift in the challenge, or somehow there's so much benefit to going within and having that as your inner guide, your GPS to do life. There is no doubt about that. And on that note, I would like to mention, you know, Terry and I do a lot of different workshops, and everything that we do, we've done, if that makes any sense. We do what we've done. And there are some things that are extraordinarily powerful. And the workshop that we're going to be doing, it's 4 weeks, every Thursday for 4 weeks in September, is the Think and Grow Rich work. And, you know, people say, well, that's such an oldie. Well, let me tell you something. Tarot cards and numerology and astrology and so many things that are old and ancient are valid. And the Think and Grow Rich program is not just about financial abundance. People associate it right away, which that's not a bad thing at all. I mean, it will help you, put you in the direction of how to manifest more abundance in your life financially, but more abundance in your life on all levels. And I have to say, it is not a walk in the park. You do have to do the work, but we're guiding you. We've done it ourselves. We're guiding you, and you'll have a group to be with to support it, because we all know that there is, what do they say in the Bible? When one or two are gathered, one or more are gathered together. That's when things change. I have done this so many times. I've done it with other people. Terry and I have just such a nice synergy, and we're so excited about doing this. It's not too late to sign up, and I'll turn it over to you, Terry, if you want to say a little more about it and where they could sign up if they're interested.
Yeah, Michelle and I, we both believe that you learn when you have fun. So we make our classes fun. You know, if you're in a class with us, you're going to have some laughter. You're going to have interaction, because we're not just going to sit there and talk to you. We're going to guide you, as she said, into doing the work. I did put the website in the comment section. It's angelspeakers.com. And when you go there, go to the menu and find classes. And that's where you can sign up for that class that Michelle and I will teach. It's 4 weeks, starting this Thursday. We meet every Thursday night, 6 o'clock Eastern time, for 90 minutes. And you'll have a lot of work to do outside of those 90 minutes. But that's going to be where you can interact and you can share and ask questions. And we're going to, I think at the end of the month, we're going to hear some success stories. We're going to hear some miracles that take place. I have every belief and trust in that. And we just found out that we have an opportunity for Michelle and I to be together in person on the last night of the class, the 26th, which you were talking about, the 26th in their forecast. It's going to be a very powerful day. So I think there's going to be a lot to be shared at the end of that class. So come be with us. And Michelle, one of the best parts of this class, it's a BOGO, which means if you sign up, you can drag along a friend with you. Just gift somebody, say, hey, wouldn't you like to come to a class and learn about how to be more abundant, how to have more of what your heart desires? And that's what it's all about. It's not, like Michelle said, it's not just about money. Sure, everybody wants money. Money's great. But about those other things in life. What about more friends, more love, romance, anything that you can put out? Health, exactly. Health. So look at it, go to the website, read the wording, and see if it appeals to you. And yeah, it's an old teaching, but you know what? Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book and taught us this powerful lesson, he's like the pioneer. He's the one that did it and said, oh, well, this is how I did it. And then I taught it to other people and they did it and it worked. So it's like universal. People know about Napoleon and they know about what's, sorry, I got distracted by the comment. It's a tried and true lesson.
It is. And it's and what's interesting, it is, I don't think it was meant to be metaphysical, because it's a very practical, it seems like it's very practical, you know, the book and everything. And it was meant for a lot of these big businessmen, Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford. But it is a metaphysical study without a doubt. So you have the two things that are blended together, which, you know, makes it such a wonderful, wonderful study. And everybody gets the book in PDF form, and they get the workbook in PDF form as well. And I'm sure we'll have some little, you know, surprises along the way. One more thing I did want to mention, and I hope everybody, you know, at least inquire about if you wanted to talk to either about it a little bit more, the class, we'll be happy to. But on a personal note, I just want to remind everybody, we're coming to the end of the year. There is no better time to get your numerological chart done for 2025 as a guide. It is immensely powerful. Or get it as a gift for someone. That's a beautiful gift. And if you are really interested, and you mentioned to send me an email at Michele Landers at bellsouth.net. Michele is with one L. And if you inquire about it, and mention this forecast today, September 1st, then I will give you a discount. So that's a good deal, right?
We all like
Yay!
abundance, people. I see you just gained some abundance right there in what Michelle's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
so reach out to her, and Michele, tell them your website as well so they can reach you that way.
Yes, it's michelelanders.com. You won't find the special on my website, though. I mean, you can check it out and check what I've got, all of the stuff. And I also have a 15-minute free consult that you can go to my website and sign up for. If you just want to chit chat about things spiritual, numerology, hypnosis. I'm certified as a hypnotherapist, board certified as a life coach. If you want to talk about any of those things, I'm glad to give you 15. Usually it's 20 minutes free, and we can just chit chat. And that is it on this beautiful Sunday morning.
What a delight.
So guess what? It's 11:56. So guess what that is? That's 11:11. 5 and 6 is 11.
Perfect.
Yeah. All great numbers.
A long time ago, I was curious, and so I asked the angels about seeing the repeating numbers like 1111, 333, 111, and they explained it's like a portal of time. And if you want to just sit in that moment when it happens and just see if anything comes through, any download, any thought from the angels or from spirit and your spirit guides, just whenever you see that, if it's the actual 1111, or like Michele just explained, it can be a combination of numbers. Just ask, what do I need to know? What do you want me to know right now? That's what I ask. I'm like a little kid. What do you want me to know now?
Yes, I know. It's exciting. If I see 1111, 111, if 1122, 1144, whenever I see those numbers, I always stop. If I catch it, I stop and do the same thing. What do you want to tell me?
Yeah,
I've got a minute.
Right. Get curious.
Get curious.
And get out of your own head for a moment. That's what it's all about. Just stepping away and listening.
Oh, yes, Terry. That's it. Get out of your head.
Yeah.
Get out of your head.
Michele, thank you so much for this. What a blessing you are to us at Enlightened World Network. And in my own personal life, I love you so much.
I love you so much, Terry.
And we have a new month here, you guys. We have a new opportunity to do something powerful in this month. You heard Michele, all of these dates that are going to bring about great energy, powerful energy change. That's what I'm hearing. And I shared with Michele, I'm so excited actually about September being here. And it just feels like we're going into a downhill slide now to the end of the year. And this is the beginning of that. So throw your hands up in the air, be on that roller coaster and say, wee, let's go. Go into it with excitement. Go into it with an energy and an intention that this is going to be great. Every day we can make that choice. This is going to be a great day. And just put that hat on, a hat of celebration, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just look at it as an opportunity for great things to show up in this month. And I know they will. I'm trusting and believing. And that is the key, to hold that in your heart.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you for hosting, Terry. Always love being with you. Love you guys all so much, and hope that you get something out of this forecast and be joyful, right?
Absolutely. Stay in your heart. That's where the joy is.
That's where the joy
Right.
is.
Well, thank you all for joining us. And for those who are watching the replay, thank you for bringing it up at your leisure and watching it. And take your time and really listen to what's going to happen and what's coming forth for this month. And we'll see Michele back here on the 1st of October. And
also on September 19th, I'm going to do an early autumn equinox meditation on EWN. So
right. Put it on your calendars.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care, everyone. Oh, and can I just mention one other thing? We are beginning a 21-day challenge today, meditation challenge. It's our 7-minute guided meditation for world peace. We'll do it leading up to the 21st of September, which is the International Day of Peace. So come be with us, 1:11 Eastern Time. That's about an hour from now. Go grab something to eat, a cup of coffee, and come back on to Enlightened World Network, because
I'll be there.
We're going to be meditating today. So
I'll be there.
Thank you, Michele, and thank you, everyone. So much love to all of you. We'll see you back here soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.